Can you hear me? Being recorded.
Yes, I can see you too. May I get your time of birth?
4:44 a.m.
You're joking.
No,
You can't be serious. You
I
really,
am.
you said 4:44 a.m.
4:44 a.m.
Jesus Christ, that is amazing. So the first thing that I saw was, oh my gosh, you were born in Gemini season. So this is amazing. You represent the angels. But then to see you're born on the literal angel number, and I'm reading you April 4th, like this is probably one of the most angelic moments I'm having right now. So this every time I do a reading with like Virgos, there's some sense of amazing precision. And Sagittarius always fun, but I always enjoy Gemini doing readings with Gemini. Please do not hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions at all whatsoever. I see you got the eclipse reading, so we will look over the eclipse with you. And just to verify, June 14th, 1974 at 4:44 a.m. in Louisiana.
Yep.
Wow, that is so amazing. Okay, so we see off the bat your rising is also in Gemini, so you truly are an angel. You got the spirit of an angel physiology. Once again, if there's anything you want to mention, please don't hesitate to interrupt. I'm going to actually put a link referencing your Gemini IC and how that gives you the superpower of the ability to transform or be an angel. And this is important because the eclipse we literally just had in Gemini was throughout the past 2 years geared towards unlocking your identity as an angel, unlocking your angelic being, enlightened being. This had happened 20 years prior, but 20 years before, now you did not have your Saturn return like you have had. So this is definitely very exceptional because we also see your moon is in Aries, making you the warrior angel, kind of like that movie Alita, Warrior Angel or Battle Angel, which is pretty dope. Because
That's
you,
my name is Womanly Warrior. My
Hmm?
first name is Womanly is the meaning, and my last name is Warrior. That's amazing.
I think this is just getting more fascinating every time. And this makes sense too because you actually were born with the North Node in Sagittarius. So I wanted
Mhm.
a documentary on like 83 Geminis and 74 Geminis because the North Node in Gem and Sag here is pivotal. But Geminis who have Neptune and Uranus and Sag, y'all are definitely exceptionally a different level of magical than most other Geminis. And that made me really appreciate that. Yeah, like I have my sun in Gemini. It's the only mutable sign I have in my chart. I don't have Virgo, Sag, Pisces. So I noticed that the more mutable signs there are, the more it adds to multi-dimensional layers of your ability to perceive. And you have Jupiter and Pisces. So like
Mhm.
it's impossible to lie to you here because with Neptune in the seventh, you are so controversial. Most people will project on you that you're delusional when it's not
Mhm.
that you're delusional. Stupid people think you're crazy, and it's hard for people to accept it. Basically, in every conflict where somebody will really kind of conflict with you and not believe the truth you're saying, it's because at a fundamental level they cannot not accept that you're an angel. An angel, of course, Gemini is the messenger, and angels are messengers. So there's a message of truth in alignment with destiny that you came from this angelic realm. South Node in Gemini means you brought your fullness of your spirit and personality from the angelic realm to shine the light of meaning and joy towards others. But with Neptune so transcendently that you're showing people beyond the meaning of truth. It's a fancy way of saying that you're destined to show people magic in ways that really kind of change the way they believe in what's possible. You literally did this within the first 5 seconds of me talking to you, seeing that you were a Gemini and then you were born 4:44 a.m. and then you got that your name means all that. Like that's magic. Like that's
The ones that know me and love me, they call me their angel. "You're my angel, you're an angel." But the ones that don't,
and
don't
this is
belong. They're not my people.
no, they're not. And okay, so you said this very importantly because the 11th house is of the house of belonging, where the right people belong with you. And
Mhm.
so in Aries feels authentically, your soul literally attracts authenticity in the form of people and experiences that belong with you. And your soul is linked to healing. So like you have this, you're going through a Chiron return and you have this very
Ugh.
it it probably is in a fancy way of saying you may trigger the crap out of people who are inauthentic because
Yeah.
you're really not fake, you're very true. And the coolest thing about this is you are the spirit and representation of truth incarnate. And
Mhm.
so you really nailed it. Like people who are not full of crap and are aligned with truth will love you because like you really help universe will send you around people who are ready to really like understand who they are, the truth of who they are to the next level because you feel into the authenticity of the individuality of the enlightenment. So this is like a sense of original enlightenment, but it also helps you feel into the true nature of people's characters. And
Mhm.
you help show this to people in ways that people who have integrity and are not fully in their ego like that can learn from. But people who are too in their ego or people who are evil, right? Devils or like negatively charged demons will like fight you or just vibrationally be uneasy towards you. And
Yeah.
it's amazing because this is very much so an attainment. You are, of course, one of God's angels here. So, like, basically, your personality and your soul within moments, if someone doesn't like you, it's because they're not pure. If someone likes you, it's because they're pure.
Yeah.
And that could be very controversial. Like if you were to tell that to certain people, people would think like, "Oh, she's a narcissist," or "Wow, she's delusional. She thinks it's about herself." But that's just because, once again, according to science, postmodern science, you only exist in fantasy or science fiction as a true angel. You know what I mean? And a representative of enlightenment. But you're showing people with Neptune in the seventh the joy of magic. But this is in a higher scientific, metaphysical, philosophical way that you didn't have to tell me any of this. I saw it, it was shown to me. And this is the magic that you bless people with. But you also have very powerful souls. So we know the North Node is in the 12th house. And now that you've unlocked the spiritual nature and the physical nature of your angelic being, angels, we don't age. And this is amazing because, right?
Best part. No, I'm joking.
It is. And it really does speak of how you've also unlocked this connection more with the angels as an angel yourself. And so North
Yeah.
Node in Taurus now, right, is getting ready to unlock your spiritual beliefs. And as Geminis, Taurus is our 12th house. So the 12th house is the house of spirituality, hidden enemies, but also the less fortunate. You have your Venus here. So Venus in Taurus, I have Venus in Taurus too. So this 12th house Venus is very sensually and psychically linked. That with its connection here, your sense of touch is psychically charged. But this can also bless you with a sense of psychometry and a very loyal heart. This is also going to be a very divine sense of laziness and stubbornness that times out really well with us. So at its worst, we can be very stuck in our beds or the physical nature of our own grounded beliefs. But
Mhm.
this is when we overcome that a superpower because it anchors us and grounds us, giving us this sacred heart that, taps you into reading people's body language and sensing their intent. And there's a deeply spiritual side to this, especially Venus here. You're definitely going to be someone whose heart, like an angel, is geared towards helping the less fortunate, those who don't have material food. And so the North Node is aligning with our heart and Uranus here. This is actually manifesting the sacred partnership and relationships, whether romantically, platonically. It's also unlocking a transcendent element of your manifestation ability through your heart's ability to ground this. It's just since it's unconscious to your sun or 12th house to your sun, you may not always be aware how, all of this connects together or how this manifestation comes in. And this is what's going to really open up and clear for you. The way I like to think about this too for Gemini and Gemini risings, Uranus through our 12th house is radically isolating us because it's having us now. Right, okay, and that's really because and then for Venus, you also crave being alone and really having that space to tap into your hidden talents and really, just, uh, appreciate your own individual space. So Uranus is radicalizing how powerfully and strongly you really sort through these unconventional spiritual beliefs that make up the wisdom of your lifestyle, because as a Gemini rising, your behavior is very purely defined, and even though it's an empty house, which just means there's not that much area of focus, in that maybe you're not meant to work a regular job and maybe even live a dream life because you have Jupiter in your 10th and you have MC in Aquarius. So I'm going to give you a article about celebrities with MC and Aquarius. Gemini rising celebrities, especially, can include Dr. Dre, Miley Cyrus, Will Smith. Will Smith is notable because he won an Oscar, and the MC is his legacy of career. And all MC and Aquarians are coming into career evolution. Congratulations! You're really coming into accolades and notoriety because you're meant to be known for the knowledge you teach, the coolness you express, whether through movies or really just expressing yourself towards the collective. You've gone around 30 years of establishing that. And this is going to secure you for the next 30 years, which is super awesome. So Saturn's been squaring your 12th house. It's like this collective aspect of your philosophy, which has to match with this more metaphysical nature of your grounded spiritual beliefs and how you're taking the higher scientific, knowledgeable nature of how you believe and live your life and how you're going to ground those concepts more naturally in a way that's personal to you. So the resource here with the South Node in your sixth, of course, because as a Scorpio sixth house, your behavior is pure. And this will now denote more intensity in how you integrate your behavior as a Gemini rising. The pure nature of your behavior and how you maybe psychoanalyze the behavior of society around you is going to be the resource to now manifest your own spiritual path. And the ways with which you unlock more wisdom in how you set your routine, which will now go forward into practically making tangible elements of your spirituality that may have just been a dream at first, may have just been a concept. This is the process of making it real. Does that resonate with you so far?
100%. I'm a makeup artist and I work for myself and I've done it for about 30 years. And so it's been amazing to see as a Christian conservative
Wow.
do is fun. It's unconventional. 30 years ago, nobody was doing it. Now everybody is. And so it's been fun in the sense that I'm able to touch so many people throughout the day. But also, we have those hard conversations about the world around us and what's happening and, Jesus and, all of our core values. And it's been almost like a safe space,
Yeah, that's
New Orleans,
beautiful.
which
New Orleans,
is not really so safe.
right, right,
You
right,
So literally like in the middle of the demons and just
right.
ministering and ministering and ministering all day, every day. But I'm just a makeup artist.
Which is beautiful. I've
Yeah.
akin makeup artistry to Cancer, and you've definitely progressed through there. And I love that because you have Saturn and Mercury in Cancer. So
Mhm.
Saturn in Cancer in the second is like corporation money. It's individually manifested value that with Mercury in Cancer, you can hear vocal tonality and how people feel.
Mhm.
And it actually gives you a very serious mind because you have so much integrity in the expression of your sincerity and feelings that it could be easy for you to discern who's being sincere or insincere. And
And that's been the fun part about my business
right,
is removing that client or those people, not only from my business, but from my life because I don't want them. And in
right.
return, I'm seeing, because I'm holding my sovereignty, I'm to my favor.
That's beautiful too because Saturn just went through your eighth house 2020, and that was the boundary chapter 2020, 2021, Pluto going through your eighth. So that's beautiful. And
Oh,
it opens up better self-employment because you're controlling who you're dealing with. And so Saturn in a second is the totality of power, psychic power that you manifest. You're super powerful, especially the way you Saturn adds like a sense of inhibition and limitation and seriousness to how serious you may have been about your own self-esteem growing up. The first 30 years you may have been very difficult on yourself. And
Mhm.
this could have created anxiety because of how serious you think. Versus now post Saturn return, it is a legitimate superpower. And I love that you're Christian because that's a large part of your destiny. Sagittarius is the light of the creator. And Neptune is, in a sense, to me, is an aspect of like Christ consciousness. And so
Yeah.
Neptune is going to be the clairvoyant visions that you see regarded other people. And your destiny is the challenge to show people and tell people the word that, the Holy Spirit administers to you about other people. And the challenge is maybe some people may think you're delusional for it or not really accept it, but it's everything they needed to hear at the moment.
Right. And I pray for that. Use me, God. Put me where I'm supposed to be and just work through me. And I'm seeing it all day, every day.
That's awesome. That's really,
Mhm.
really especially seeing okay, so your moon opposes Pluto, right, in Libra, and then you have Chiron opposite, Air Uranus, which is very interesting. So Uranus trine your sun adds so much genius to how socially you express your talents and communicate to people. It's very eccentric. But the moon on Pluto, opposite Pluto, there's an intensity that can add some kind of social anxiety because of how extremely you communicate and powerfully to people and how extremely any imbalances of unfairness or imbalance are immediately triggered by you to be dealt with because Saturn squares it. So you're someone who has a very low tolerance for that kind of disrespect. And
Yeah.
opposite your moon, you're gonna feel socially shade thrown at you, negativity projected at you.
Mhm.
It doesn't always have to be negative, but you'll be able to feel it within moments in a level of inauthenticity by with Pluto and Libra, how facetiously people may say things. Like you pick up on all that stuff, and
Mhm.
it's not a bad aspect. It's a super powerful aspect. It could just be super painful because the Sun opposition to Pluto, you're aware of the hatred. The Moon opposition, it's
Yeah.
hidden, so you'll feel it, but people can try and gaslight you. But regardless, this is you feeling where the social expression of your talents bring in authentic people who belong with you as friends and whatnot. So I wanted to illustrate all that because this is a very, very powerful T square that really influences how you manifest the value. For example, my son is in the second in Gemini. So I have an individual personality and spirit like you, Taurus rising, Sun in Gemini. So you paid me so I can talk one on one to you. And that's how I manifest this second house. But you manifest the individual Cancer by manifesting cleanliness, healing, and safety, comfort. Whenever you manifest sincerity and the psychic power, Saturn bestows a lot of money. Even though the sun is more focused on how you express your personality, especially as a makeup artist, this really speaks to the karmic lessons of integrity of value to maintain what you're worth and what you feel you're worth. The more powerful you feel in your value, the more powerful you command this wealth too, which makes this even more so of a superpower. So we know that the North Node coming into May is actually going to be in the eclipse in Taurus that is actually going to be 14 degrees right next to your Venus. And so this is going to incorporate the Sacred Heart initiation into unlocking fully post Saturn return the grounded quality of your Sacred Heart and how strong you're able to manifest through this too. We know you have Mars in Leo, so Mars in Leo adds boldness to the assertiveness of action that you passionately move forward with and express your ideas. But this can clash with Venus because Venus in Taurus may want to just chill. Venus in Taurus in the
Mhm.
12th can be that wallflower that wants the people watch and just kind of sit and just relax. And then your Mars is always clashing with Venus, like, let's get up and dance and let's have fun, right?
Mhm.
And it's kind
Mhm.
of balance those. But once again, you're unlocking the work because Scorpio is also a sixth house of work. So it's like with the 12th house, the gift of this eclipse is to manifest a grounded spirituality that will, in its divinity, bring together a lot of what you've desired. And I think add more supernatural quality to how we ground a lot more of this air magic. I wish I could put it into better words because after we come out of this 12th house, the nodes move backwards. So this now application of the spiritual beliefs around yourself as an angel are going to North Node going to the 11th, and you're going to integrate those beliefs with a collective of friends who align with that. And this is going to be growing your support like never before. So before
Mhm,
that, right, it's just a huge transformation of your lifestyle so it can
mhm,
ground your heart's desires in ways that may have been misunderstood and hidden, but come out very profoundly. And of course, now the 6 months from Taurus season to Scorpio will fundamentally begin that process of transforming your lifestyle so that the eclipse in October can unlock now the routine needed to support from October to May uh, not only your lifestyle, let's just say from May to October, you're making this facet of your spirituality apply to your personality and behavior. And then from October of 2022 to 2023, you're applying this transformation of lifestyle to change other people's life and how it's influencing. Right. So we're gonna have the eclipse. Jupiter's gonna go into Aries, and by August, as it retrogrades, it'll already begin to evolve your soul. And by Gemini season, the retrograde out of your 12th house will be reevaluating how much more enlightened you communicate yourself because you're more tuned in to the spiritual path that's unfolding through your heart and
mhm,
understanding uniquely how to follow your heart more because it's not been the easiest thing being misunderstood and hidden here in the 12th. So this is going to really now with Saturn squaring this anchor how you've been defining and been more strong in your Christian belief than ever, and not even just Christian belief but like your philosophy, which is aligned with the integrity of the knowledge of it. You're integrating that knowledge to anchor how much more groundedly you live that belief in your lifestyle as your spirituality, as your spiritual beliefs. And Uranus is adding so much unconventionality and supernatural nature to this that a lot of the abstract concepts that we have believed in regarding this are now manifesting through you super really. And this is now integrating that realness in your relationships with people. Gemini season will now have you manifest the persona that embodies this philosophy. And then Cancer season is going to have you manifest the value of how much more powerfully in tune you are to your heart and start to sincerely express. So, Leo season will be the first checkpoint. How boldly and courageously in your attitude and the way you think can you have fun bringing out this grounded nature of your spirituality? And this is what's going to clash as far as now developing the mindset and attitude in this social sign through Scorpio to begin to integrate this socially with others. And Virgo season will now manifest elements of this spirituality within your home life of how practically you can analyze the changes in your home. And because, Jupiter had the new moon in your 10th house, this is the year with the Jupiter return. You're coming into the experience of the career success, having you manifest your dream life and dream job. And like now by Virgo season, consolidating all that success through Cancer season with extra money into your home, into how you're renovating and evolving your home space. And now in Libra season, how creatively you express everything in Aries season that's having you be aware of your friends and who you are individually with people you belong with. Libra season, you'll be eccentrically transforming how socially you express your extreme talents to communicate with other people. And that's what's going to, after 6 months of Taurus season, lead into Scorpio. And that eclipse will now fully transform your lifestyle now that you've manifested since May elements of these spiritual beliefs through socially expressing it with others from August. And by November, Jupiter will retrograde back into Pisces. And this will now start to see how this change of lifestyle reevaluates the career expansion and evolution. And that seems to be the eclipse report for us so far. But did you have any final questions at all?
I think I would like to know a little bit more about Scorpio in my 6th house. I haven't been able to find Scorpio in my chart.
Yeah, it's empty too. So um, I The only thing I have in Scorpio in my chart is Pluto, and it opposes my Venus. But nothing, you having nothing in Scorpio just means you don't have any focus there. It could also mean that it's an area you mastered before, and so you're focusing more on the 12th. But empty,
Okay.
right? So like I've had an empty, I've had an empty seventh house, and I've never been in a relationship really. I have relationships with people, but it's never been a focus for me. Whereas we're more focused individually towards ourselves.
Yeah.
So the transits will have us kind of define that, but the empty sixth house just means that it's a very pure place of potential. And regardless, it'll mean that the groundedness of Venus, where you kind of focus more on your spiritual beliefs, the application of those beliefs socially in your lifestyle is what's going to be intense and pure. So you're going to be unlocking that more. But that's interesting. The empty space will give you more freedom to work with it. And
Perfect.
yeah. Well, I'm going to send you this recording. It was it was such an honor to touch base with you.
No,
And
same. I'm excited. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
likewise, and you stay blessed as always. And yeah, I'll email this to you right now. You'll get an email from WeTransfer.
Okay.
All right. You have
Perfect.
a blessed week.
Yeah, you too.